All right, so let's get going with this stream. A couple of minutes early, so I'm just looking at myself on the screen. Pretty funny stuff. Anyway, gonna wait for some people to show up, and we'll get started here. I'm gonna try to do a little better this time. Maybe I can type stuff back and try to communicate a little better. Robert's here. You're the first one here, Robert. Oh, Tom's here. Shiny toe. Is that what it is? Shiny toe. Man, all right. Everybody's coming in now. Lou Mendoza from Austin. Eric. Oh, here we go. How much would y'all charge for a 1,200 square foot slab, sir? It depends, man. It depends where you're at. It depends the soil type. It depends the elevations. There is so many variables that it's almost impossible for me to tell you. Do you want it engineered? I mean, it's just crazy amounts of variables. If anybody can give you a just kind of shoot from the hip quote, I don't know how they can do that. You're probably going to be disappointed whenever the real number comes in. You build amazing builds from Michigan. Thank you, Zach. Utah Morin from New Mexico. Mississippi, C.L. McCall. Been keto 3 weeks. It's hard. I know, man. The first couple of weeks in keto, oh, man, they call that what do they call it? The keto hangover? Holy smokes, man. That is hard. But once you get over that 2-3 weeks, it's easy. It's gotten really easy for me. I kind of got off of keto there for a while. And man, I gained like 15 pounds quick. So be careful with that. That sugar will tear you up, man. That's some bad stuff. So be careful with that sugar. All right, who else is here? Missy Barr. Would you build in East Texas? I don't know. We go about 100 miles from San Antonio, so I doubt that's east enough for you. Buenas noches, San Juan Olvera. ¿Cómo está? Love the content. Keep up the hard work. Thank you, William. Yeah, man, we're doing what we can. CRX Ninja. What is a yard of concrete? I wonder if you're asking about the price. Do the barbecue diet. Are you talking about, I don't know what that is, barbecue diet, but it sounds right up my alley. Do you ever do standing seam roofs? No, we haven't. We were asked by someone to do one, but it's just a nightmare. You have to deck it first before you do the standing seam, so it ends up costing quite a bit of money. So we ended up not doing it. Who else is here? Pam Chambers. How you doing? I have Brad. All right, that's a good question. Why don't you do 2 inches of closed sail and then 4 inches of open sail? Because I don't have to. What's the purpose of that? There is no reason for that. At least not here in South Texas. Volume. All right, CRX Ninja is asking, what is a yard of concrete? And he's asking for volume. Okay, I guess you're asking. Oh, look at that. Perkin Brothers is here. How you doing, man? Is that you, Eric? So, a yard of concrete. A yard of concrete is 1 yard. It's just a cube. 1 yard by 1 yard by 1 yard. So, that's the volume. It's 27 cubic feet, right? Because you have 3 feet by 3 feet by 3 feet. So that's a cubic yard. So when they say yard of concrete, they really mean a cubic yard. So 27 cubic feet. Yeah, Julian. Julian says that he appreciates all the live streams lately. That's something that I've been trying to kind of get into lately. I guess I get to communicate with you guys a lot better, and there is so many questions. As you guys know, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I try to answer all the comments on my videos, and you know, this kind of allows me to be able to give you guys one answer and everybody can hear it rather than just kind of individually. And don't worry, I'm still gonna answer your comments as best I can. But this kind of gives me that ability to be able to communicate with you guys. All right, let's read some more comments. Contact info for your blueprint or plant company. All right, here you go. I'm gonna type that one. It's pristineplants.com. That's who you need to get a hold of. Has the cabinet production caught up for you guys? Oh man, not yet. We are still trailing. It's been a nightmare, but we're getting there. Matthew Boyd, I love your channel. I really respect the way you build your homes. I'm looking to build in Cameron County, Seadrift, Texas. Great fishing within a mile of my land. Would you come that far? I will come there to fish. I don't think I want to come there to build. That's a long ways, man. 86.7 thousand subs, getting close to 100,000. Yes, we're getting there, man. I'm gonna get my, we're gonna get our silver play button. So Eric from Perkins Brothers, he's here. He didn't realize you get a real nice silver play button when you get to 100,000. So I let him know that a couple weeks ago, and man, he's been hammering down. Hey Eric, don't think I haven't noticed, man. You've been hammering down on them videos. Good job, man. That's awesome. That is some really good stuff. I watch as many as I can. So good stuff, man. Would you ever build elsewhere like Arkansas? Man, I wish I could. I like to. Don't get me wrong, but it's just far. It's far. Is it worth building a house and then a garage barn detached? I work on a diesel and I can't have fumes in the house. Yeah. My house, I have the house and then I have a breezeway and then I have my shop, and that's the best world right there. So yeah, you can have them separate. Seadrift, Perdido, how you doing, man? That's a bit far. So, Shiny Toe is asking, is YouTube profitable? Ask Mr. Beast. It's profitable for him, not really for me, but you know, I enjoy interacting with you guys. But you know, that's just how that works. Is Leroy's place finished? No, it's not finished. We did the drywall. That's the last thing that got done on Leroy's house. He did not get his biggest his BAF. Remember, we're gonna call them BAFs because YouTube freaks out when we call it by the real name. So did Manny get the dumpster out? Yes, as far as I know, he got it out. I think he was out there yesterday or the day before. So yeah, he got it. So Leroy, man, he did not get his fan. You know, I did all I could. We didn't get the 5,000 likes. So what I did is I emailed BAF and I said, hey, is there a you know, because they have a sponsorship program, and I said, well, you know what? Let me try this route. Nope, they haven't even answered me. So. Timothy Lopez, hey man, go ahead and call it a BAF because I just noticed that YouTube hit your comment there. So just call it a BAF. But what's the verdict on? Well, that's what I'm talking about right now. He did not get it. I tried to contact BAF. They have a sponsorship program. They haven't even responded to me. I'm really bad with sponsorships. Well, I don't know if I'm gonna call it bad. But I don't know if you guys have noticed, we're approaching 100,000 subscribers and we do not have any sponsors. Zero. That many. Texas Barndominiums has no sponsors. You guys are our only sponsors. So I don't have to answer to anyone, which is the way I like it. Trust me. Now, I'm not saying that we won't take on sponsors, but it has to be good sponsors. And when I say good sponsors, I mean in a sense that somebody that we are willing to, we know has good products. We're not going to take any, we've been approached, but we're like, if I'm not willing to use it and I'm not willing to put my name on that product, I'm not going to push it, or I'm not even going to use it. And and I'm not going to tell you guys to use it. So that's kind of where we're at on sponsorships. But anyway, having said that, BAF didn't answer me. I was trying to get Leroy a free fan, but anyway, that's kind of how that works. Why don't you saw cut your concrete slabs? We don't. Here in Texas, nobody does it, and I really don't like saw cuts. They look bad. I'd rather have a crack than a saw cut. Hey, the best barn man in the world. How you doing, Senator Hill? When are you gonna open a store? We've been talking about that, as you know, for a while, and I don't know. Soon, I guess. We just need to find the time. Manny, he likes those. He likes those darn. He likes the darn trucker caps. I don't like those things, but I don't know. And see, that's kind of the problem. Everybody likes something different. I like these caps right here. Manny likes those trucker caps. Blah blah blah. Right? So I don't know. It's always a nightmare. Like, which way do we go? You know. And anyway, I like making a decision and going with it and see how that goes. But anyway, so the minute we made the decision to make these caps, now everybody wants to change them and whatever. So anyway, that's where we're at on that. Trucker caps, thumbs up. I don't know, man. I don't like them myself. They look kind of cheap, but whatever. Hey, Manny cut off his mullet. He was growing a mullet there, and I said, "What are you doing, Manny? Come on, man. You're kind of over here running my concrete company, and you have a mullet. What are you doing?" So I didn't tell him to cut it off, but I kind of brought it up, and one day he showed up. He had it cut off, and I'm like, "All right, man. Good job. He looks better now. Trust me, he looks way better." Giveaway for when you hit 100,000. Giveaway what? What are we gonna give away? I don't mind doing giveaways. It's just, man, it's just so hard. Like YouTube makes it really hard to give away stuff. At least I haven't figured it out, because I can't just, like, you guys, I don't have info. Like Instagram, you have Messenger, you can message people directly. That makes it really easy. But like YouTube, I don't know how people do it. I need to look into that. But anyway, I don't know how that works. Like I said, Instagram is really easy because you can. Oh, Robert Evans, you know what? You might be right, man. We might do 100,000 cap. Maybe we'll put a YouTube play button on there or something. Yeah, okay. You got my gears turning now. Thank you. That's a good idea. Do you only build in Texas? Yes, at the moment, and probably for a good while. We've been approached to build outside of Texas a lot, and I just can't find the time to leave Texas, to go build. Every time I think about it, I'm like, my goodness, I'm gonna need new subs. I'm gonna need to go train those subs. Hopefully I get some good subs from the get-go, right? Because if not, it's a nightmare. Coming down to California, would I consider going down to California? Maybe to vacation. Long Beach. I was there, Shiny Toe. I was in Long Beach about 3 months ago. It's a nice place. I went to Catalina Island for a few hours. It was fun. Have you ever built a barn door with PVC panels on walls instead of R panels? Not a barn door, but we have built metal buildings. When I used to build metal buildings, I did a ton of those. The arch metal trusses that you use, do they have a name? We call them continuous roof trusses. That's about the name, but we those arch trusses, WD Metal Buildings, they do our buildings. They build them themselves. And they don't sell them. So people ask me that a lot. So Perkin Brothers, I agree. Seems like building a good house is all about good connections with good subs. Exactly. Now here's the problem, and Eric here with Perkins, he will, I know, 100% agree. So here's the problem. I'm gonna lay it out. See, this is why I like the live chats, because I get to kind of shoot from the hip and explain to you guys how stuff works that you guys maybe didn't understand or didn't know ahead of time. So for example, let's just say I go build, I don't know, let's just say I go to Oklahoma or anywhere, right? And I go build out there, right? So I'm gonna, before I go out there, I'm gonna get a set of prints from you, and I'm going to give you a quote on how much that Barndominium is going to cost, right? However you want it. You know, you want granite, you want custom cabinets, whatever you want. We're gonna bid it, we're gonna put it on paper, right? How do I bid it? Well, I contact subs, I find subs, I contact them, and I ask them to give me a quote, right? So every sub is going to give me a quote, right? Now, in order to get those subs, we need to vet every single one of them, which is a nightmare, right? It's literally like, it's a hiring process. So we have to hire like 15 different companies, 20 different companies, whatever, right? So we have to do that. And then, for example, let's just say, you know, Barndominium, let's just say it's $500,000, right? So we go out there and I give you a quote for $500,000 to build your Barndominium in Oklahoma, okay? And it's a big, beautiful Barndominium. Very nice, right? We get there, we get started, and let's just say the electrician or the painter, let's just say the painter's not doing a very good job. I ask him to do, hey, you know, I don't like this, you need to redo it, whatever. So let's just say things don't go well, and I have to find a different painter, okay? What ends up, two things are gonna happen. Number one, now we hit a delay, okay? Which the customer's not gonna be happy about. And number two, I am more than likely going to have to pay the next painter extra, okay? Now that money comes out of my pocket, okay? Now I've had to do this many times, okay? So it's not like I won't do it. I've had to do it, and this is where builders really get burnt. You know, people don't understand that we get burnt a lot, okay? So let's just say we find a painter. So I have two options, right? Either I kind of put up with that, you know, below par kind of performance or quality from the painter, or I find a different painter, I pay him extra money, and I bring him in, right? You guys know me. I'm not gonna put up with subpar quality, right? So I'm gonna get rid of that painter. I'm gonna have to go find another one. So, you know, depending on how, at which point or whatever, you know, we're probably gonna end up paying out of pocket, you know? And now that's just one guy, you know, that's just one sub. Imagine if this happens 2, 3, 4 times, you know, I'm gonna be out of town, out of state, and I may end up losing a ton of money because, you know, I'm not gonna, now at some point, I may have to go to the customer and say, hey, this is not working out. But, you know, more likely they're gonna say, well, that's too bad, buddy. You know, you bid it, you build it, you know, and that's why, you know, everybody says, come here, come there, you know, but it's not, if we're willing to do the quality of work that we like to do, that's why it's nearly impossible to go, you know, out of our area, out of kind of where we have already good subs and good relationships. Going outside of that, it becomes kind of problematic. But that's kind of the kind of the short of it, of why I don't want to go outside of our area, you know. Now the other thing is, let's say I go to Oklahoma and build that building. Let's just say everything works out perfect. Let's just say everything went perfect, which is likely not going to happen. But let's just say it did, okay? Well, now the neighbor or somebody down the road wants a Barndominium, right? I go build that. So I'm actually going to be building out there, not here, right? I mean, I'm going to be doing both, but I can't take care of both, right? So at some point, I'm going to have to make a decision, pick one or the other. Well, guess what? I'm going to pick the one closest to home. So it's really hard. I mean, again, I've talked about this before. I see a lot of builders that kind of talk about, I see a lot of builders talking about they cover Texas, Oklahoma, you know, Louisiana, whatever. Oh my God, that's such a red flag, in my opinion, because we only cover about 100-mile radius from San Antonio, so about a 200-mile total area that we cover. You know what I mean? I forgot the word for radius plus radius. But that word. But anyway, and that's really hard. I have 3 project managers plus me. I mean, it's really hard. Now I can only imagine what it would be like to be able to, you know, having to travel like, yeah, diameter, thank you. I can only imagine having to travel, you know, all the way to Oklahoma and stuff, you know, it'd be just a nightmare. So yeah, we try to keep it, you know, small, high quality, and that's kind of how the crow flies. Thank you, Chinese Toe. But anyway, that's the reason, you know, and you know, that's kind of the, you know, the answer as to why we don't build somewhere else. And we get, the other thing that we get a lot is, for example, we go to Burnett, you know, but we don't go to Lampasas, and they're only like 15 miles from each other. Well, the problem is Burnett's like 120 miles from us, right? And now you're gonna go another 10. Well, once you go to Lampasas, somebody else is gonna want us to go another 10 miles and then another 10 miles, and then it just never ends, right? So we've had people call us from Lampasas and go, you go to Burnett, why won't you come here? I'm sorry, that's our limit, you know? So it's hard, but we've made the decision that, look, we're gonna do high quality, and this is where we're gonna do it, you know? At some point, you know, if we expand, that'd be great, but at this point, we are super happy with what we got, and I'm happy with the quality of work that we're putting out, and you know, I think people respect that more than me trying to spread so thin that we're just gonna, quality's gonna go down and it's just gonna go to heck, you know. So yeah, that's kind of like my nightmare scenario. Get so big that things go to heck. No, I don't want to do that. Am I hiring? I am hiring a video editor. So here's a funny thing. After the last live chat, I said that I needed a video editor. I've been looking for one because it takes a lot of time to edit videos, and especially now that I have to build a barn in 4 months. But I had a guy call me. He said he saw this deal, and he called me up, and he's looking for a job, and I said, come on, man, come in for an interview or whatever. And I said, send me your resume. And he sounded very excited, very happy to talk to me, this, that, and the other. And then I haven't heard from the guy. No interview, no resume, no anything. So who knows, man? Who knows? It's just never know. All right, what else we got here? Let's read some more comments. Might have to shoot less. Oh, you shut your mouth. Yeah, actually, I know. You know, that's in the horizon. I know that. My goodness, I know I have to, at some point, I'm going to have to cut that out. And it almost hurts to say it, but that's such a huge part of my life. So, for those of you that don't know, I'm a professional shooter outside of being a Barndominium builder, and yeah, at some point, you know, I'm gonna have to shoot less or just give it all up altogether, you know. But right now, it is a lot of work. I mean, anything. The problem that I have, I guess I can call it a problem, is anything that I do, I go just full throttle, dive in with both feet, you know. And the shooting is no different, you know. I'm in there pretty deep. So, you know, it's one of those things that at some point, something's gonna have to give, right? And obviously, it's gonna have to be the shooting. But right now, I'm still enjoying it, kind of making it work. But yeah, it's a lot of work. I mean, to be able to kind of compete at the level that I compete at, and you know, build Barndominiums, run a company, and run a couple of companies. You know, I got the concrete side, and then we have the Barndominiums. My goodness, you know, it's a lot of work. And people ask me, how do you do this? And I'm like, just don't sleep much. You know, so yeah, that's kind of the the problem with me that I go full throttle. Shooting, Bob Jackson. Yeah, just look up Eric Cortina on YouTube and you'll find my shooting channel. I haven't done much in a while. I've been focusing on this channel, but yeah. Anyway, let me read some comments. How many square feet is the barn door with a BAF? It's big. I don't even remember. It's pretty big. Hemi Love, Mr. Eric. Eric, you misspelled my name, man. It's Eric with a K. Just want to let you know that if it wasn't for you posting up the video that you had posted, whoa, comments are moving too fast. All right, let me start over. Eric, just want to let you know that if it wasn't for you posting that video that you had posted in the very beginning, I think probably about a year or 2 years ago, I wouldn't have had the... Come on, Hemi Love. Okay, confidence to throw a concrete slab. Please tell me you didn't say throw concrete slab, man. Come on. If you did, don't tell people that you learned anything from me. You don't throw concrete, man. You place concrete. You don't even pour, you place. The correct word is place. Leroy says throw concrete, and I gave him so much heck. Leroy's like, when are you gonna throw concrete? No, Leroy, we don't throw concrete, place concrete. But anyway, well, good, man. I'm glad you worked up the courage to do your own slab. But yeah, have you ever had any of your builds appraised? Have you ever had any of your builds appraised? If so, how did it go? Yeah, man, we get a lot of them. Oh, we get a lot of them appraised because a lot of them they. Customers borrow the money, you know. So yeah, they do well, obviously. Hemi Love, cement slab. No, man, don't even go there. Cement is another one. That's kind of one of my pet peeves. All right, I will explain that. Cement versus concrete. Most people don't know the difference. They think they are interchangeable, and they are not. They are not interchangeable. Cement is an ingredient to make concrete. Okay, so cement is to a cake. How does that work? Cement is to concrete what flour is to a cake. Okay, so cement is the powder ingredient that you must add water and rock and sand and all that good stuff, and then when you mix it all together, then you end up with concrete. So that's how that works. What's Leroy's official title? Oh, you don't want to know. I can't say it here. I'm joking. He is one of my project managers. He's been with me for a long time, about 3 years now. He's a very good guy. I give him a lot of heck, I know, on the videos, but he's a very good guy. Anyways, what is the definition of a barndominium as compared to a conventional build? So a barndominium is a metal building that is meant to be a home. Okay, so that's a barndominium. At least in my opinion. A lot of people say that a barndominium needs to have a shop. I don't know. I don't think so. I had a guy. He was an appraiser, I think, and he kind of gave me a hard time in the comments about calling it a barndominium because he said I should call it something different, and I forget what that something different thing was, but he said I should be calling it that, and you know, I need to stop calling it a barndominium. And because my builds do not meet the barndominium description, so I asked him to please give me the correct description and you know, give me a link or something to where he got that from. And of course, he never answered me because I think it's just his own description. So that's kind of where that went. But anyway, that's kind of where you know. To me, it's just a metal building home. Now, there's barndominiums that we build, and then there's metal buildings with living quarters inside. A lot of these guys that are barndominium builders, they build metal buildings with living quarters inside of them, which is totally different because that thing was never meant to be a home. Okay, what we do, they're meant to be a home from the ground up. What some of those guys are doing, they were meant to be a metal building, and they just happen to put framing inside of there and call it a home, which is obviously totally different. Juan Martinez, saludos, mi amigo. But anyway, Steven Ortega, let us pour for you. Send me an email, man. We're always pouring concrete, as you guys know. Memo Ramos, are y'all hiring? Yes, we are. Go to the website, texasbarndominiums.com. Here, I'm going to put it on here again. Go to the website and send me an email. I need a video editor. Maybe I'll hire Eric from Perkins Brothers. He's really good. But if the homeowner wants a concrete pool, do you also do that as part of the build? Yep, we do whatever you want. So what I tell my customers is nothing is impossible. It just costs more money. So we'll do whatever you want. Obviously, we've done Barndo 163. We did a pool in a fire pit on that porch, and it was all kind of all put together. It was real nice. But yeah, I mean, we're always hiring. We're always looking for good people. So that April Fool's video, that thing, everybody refers to that thing. That kind of went well. That video just went nuts. What made me get into the work that you do? Memo, go to the last live chat. I talked about it on that one. Any recommendations from barn builders in south of Corpus? I have no recommendations. I don't know anyone. I'm sorry. People always ask me that, and maybe I need to start networking with guys, but it's hard. It's really, this is kind of back to what I was talking about with subs. You have to vet them, and you have to do all these, just because they tell you, okay, everybody's going to tell you that they're good, all right? So that's kind of the thing, right? So I don't know. I can't really trust anybody to, somebody to recommend, because obviously people come to us asking us who we can recommend because they're expecting that we're going to recommend somebody that builds to the quality that we build, right? But, I don't know anybody. I'm not saying we're the only ones, okay? I just don't know anybody. I'm sure there's, I'm sure, and I'm sure, and I'm very hopeful that there's a lot of people out there that build to the high standards that we build, but I just don't know them. That's the short of it, Do you still need a drafter? I need a video editor. That's what I need. I need bad because I'm not getting much sleep lately, okay? Well, I don't ever get much sleep, but lately's been worse. What book are you currently reading? Strong Fathers, Strong Daughters. That is a great book. It's an oldie but goodie. That's the one I'm working on right now. I found your channel by YouTube recommending April Fools. Good job, man. Awesome. I'm glad you're here. Here's a question that I get all the time. Is it cheaper to build a Barndominium versus a stick built? I have no idea. It all depends. If you're going to compare them apples to apples, the Barndominium is a better value. It's not cheaper, but it's a better value, right? So you automatically get a metal roof, right? All the siding. See, most people don't know this, but all the metal siding that we use, because it's all made in the USA, they are Energy Star rated. And they also have an impact rating of 4, which is the highest impact rating that you can get on any siding or roofing material. So you get that from the get-go, right? With us. Now to get that on a stick built, well, you're gonna get shingle roof, which you need to upgrade, and then depending on the siding that you get, you may not have the same impact rating. But if you have, again, if you compare them apples to apples, which is almost impossible, right? one's a Barndominium and one's a conventional house. But I don't think, at least our Barndominiums, they're not cheaper than a conventional house. They're not, but it's a better value. So, in reality, technically it is cheaper, So that's kind of how I see it. Is Livestock Rodeo still in town? Man, I have no idea. I used to keep up with all that because I grew up ranching, and now I just don't keep up with it. We're just way too busy. Jack of many, yeah, I know. It's hard, man. But insulated concrete floors, ICF. What about it? Question mark. Would you recommend PVC panels on the wall or PVD? I like the way the PVD, the D panel looks. I like that. PVC, I don't know. It gets tricky when you get to the corner. You have to bend that panel around, but I don't know. I would, if I had to do it on the walls, I would do D panel over C panel for sure. Perkins Brothers, like, what kind of camera are you using? Super cool focus effect. Looks amazing. It is not my cell phone, Eric. So I use Sony cameras. I use the one I'm shooting on right now is the Sony a7 III, and I'm using a 24 millimeter G Master lens, which is a f1.4, which gives you that real nice blur. This is back to how I am. You know, I obviously it's a lot more convenient to shoot on my cell phone, but I just hate the way that looks. It just looks plain. You know what I mean? So, you know, if I'm doing video, I like to do stuff like I'm doing now. So this is kind of my camera that I use all the time. I used to use a 28 millimeter f2 lens, and then I had to buy this one. And I just love the way it looks. A lot of people complain that they don't see the background, but that's kind of the point. But I just love the look. So anyway, this is again a 24 G Master. Ever think about franchising out Texas Barndominiums? Man, I could, but it's back to the. I mean, I like to expand. So here's the short of it. I need to find good people. That's the bottom line, right? I need to find people that are like-minded, and that's hard. That's hard. Trust me. You know, Manny's he's young, but I think he's gonna get there. Leroy, Darren, they're all very like-minded, but it's hard, man. It's hard. I'm not gonna say that we're a special breed, but it's hard. Yeah, no slackers. You cannot slack. I mean, I really wish I had a camera crew following us around so you guys get to see the full picture. And you guys would think that we're borderline crazy, to be honest with you. That's the bottom line. So anyway, that's kind of what I'm talking about. You know, it takes a special kind of, it takes just the right amount of crazy to do what we do. Can you skylights? What is that? Can you skylights in on? Whoa! Can you skylights in on builds? Okay. Yes. I guess they're asking if we can put skylights. Yeah, we can. We just don't, because I don't like that idea. I don't like putting holes on the roof. But yeah, you can. Plus, they're very, very inefficient. For why don't you use a SIP system? We do. What do you mean we don't? How do you insulate concrete floors? We don't. We're in Texas, man. We don't have to do that. How hard is it to get building permits approved for barns outside of Texas? I have no idea. I've never built outside of Texas. How much is concrete per yard there? It's about $110. Let me see. Can you? Somebody's asking if we can do the panels horizontally. Yes, you can. We've done it, not on a Barndominium, but see, I used to be a metal building builder, and we did it back then. I'm almost afraid to tell you all the things that you can do, because there's so many things, like really cool stuff that you can do on the panels. Like horizontal is one, but there's a lot more things that you can do. But I'm almost kind of hesitant to tell you guys about it, because I just know that I'm going to start getting requests for that, and I really don't want to do it. So I'm going to leave it at that. How many hours of sleep a day do you sleep? 6 when I'm lucky. Typically 5 to 6. But I try to sneak in about 8 every now and then, but it's hard. I own a barn in Lovington, New Mexico. I was told by my realtor that I'll be lucky to be able to sell it for what I bought it for in 2012. Get a different realtor. What's the biggest concrete project you've ever done? I think it was 32,000 square feet. And I need to tell you guys about that one of these days because it was crazy. It was very crazy. The very first one that I did was, man, it's crazy where life takes you, or takes me, or where it has took me. The very first slab that I did was probably a 15 by 20. That was the very first slab that I did, 15 by 20. And then just kept doing it. They kept getting bigger, and my goodness, it got to the point that, you know, one day I'm in charge of pouring a 32,000 square foot slab where, you know, 850 yards of concrete, 2 pumps, about 30 or 40 men. I mean, it's crazy, but it was fun. It was a lot of fun. Let me read some more comments. You guys are hammering through here. What else we got here? I'm kind of looking at all these analytics, and you guys are averaging 5.5 messages per minute. So, and for some reason, it's like there's a lag here because they don't all come at once. They just like all of a sudden they're like. All right, let me see what else you guys. Would like to work a short week with you if I could. I improved my workmanship at least 30% since watching you. Well, thank you, Hector. Man, it's really hard because like I said, we hire a lot of subs. We do everything mainly subs, and it's hard to kind of bring people in. I had a guy that I get the strangest requests all the time. I had somebody, a couple of weeks ago that said that they wanted to come in and shadow me for a few days and just learn everything they could from me so they could go build their own Barndominium. And I'm like, man, if I had the time, so there's 2 things. I don't think I have the time to do it, and I don't think he has enough money to afford it. So, but the time is the problem. You know, it's really hard for me to, you know, to carve out 3 or 4 days for somebody, you know, to kind of shadow me. But fix that network. I know, man. Man, this network stuff, it's a nightmare. Have you ever tried Clemens brand sealers? No, I haven't. You know, I need to try. So Jason's telling me that my network has lag, and I don't know if it's so. This live stream stuff has like a ton of settings, you know, and I need to go through them all because I know you can put in a lag, or you can remove it or whatever. So I think it's there somewhere. Oh, here it is. Of course, I already kind of started it, but it's at low latency right now, so that's why it's not probably working too well. Anyway, that's kind of where I'm at on that. Have you built before pouring concrete, and how did it turn out? No, we've never done that. Okay, let me back up. We have never done that, but we have went back for metal buildings and poured concrete in them after they were done. But they were mainly just for equipment. So we've done it. It's a nightmare, but we've done it. But I wouldn't do it on a Barndominium. No way. Do you use ScreenFlow to edit your videos? No, I use Premiere Pro, Adobe Premiere Pro. Do I prefer working in the winter or the summer? Spring and fall. That's my favorites. It's the winter when it gets really cold. I don't mind it, but the summer's probably. See, you have to understand that concrete, everything revolves around concrete. So I'd rather pour concrete probably in the winter. And if it's too cold, it's a nightmare because we can't pour. But summer, it's just, my goodness, it's you better be ready. And I just uploaded a video, so you guys better go watch it, and you guys better give it a thumbs up. But even you, Eric. But those, you know, we got to get our trowel machines and everything that's like perfect shape, because once the summer hits, man, that stuff just gets hard to deal with. Eagle brand sealers you find at Lowe's and Home Depot are the same as Clemens. Oh, okay. I don't buy sealers from big box stores. They are not. How can I put this nice? Maybe that's. Maybe this is why Maybe this is why I don't get any sponsorship from anybody, because I kind of tell you how it is. But like big box stores, they don't carry really good sealers. They just don't. This is what you got to look at. You got to look at the what do you call it? You got to look at the solids content, and they don't have very high solids content. So anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that. Any tips from young contractors? Outwork everybody. Outwork everybody, man. That's what you got to do. That's how I got here. I'm not very talented. I will be the hardest worker in the room, and that's just, I don't read a lot, learn, and learn. Be the best at what you do and outwork everybody else. Is it better to buy house? Is it better to buy land with a house on it and then demo it, or buying the land and building in Barndo? Man, if it's a good deal, buy. I'm not gonna tell you which one. I mean, obviously, good deals is a good deal. Obviously, I'd rather have raw land, because then you don't have to demo it. But if it's a good deal, man, buy it. What happened to the guy from Houston? He is gone. He's gone. Anyway, how do I do the curved solid roof? We curve it. Those panels, they curve on their own. Sergio, are you hiring? We're always hiring, man. Go to the website, send us a message, let us know what you can do. But I need a video editor right now. Acid stain or epoxy entire house, which do you prefer? They are one and the same in a way. So the sealer, I mean, one of them's going to have, for example, the way we do it, the sealer has, the only difference is the sealers, right? You have epoxy on one, and the other one you have, we use polyurethane if we're gonna stain. So here's the big difference. Epoxy. Well, I guess you're talking, I don't know if you're talking about clear epoxy, because, you know, you have polyurethane, but you asked about stain. So I'm thinking you're talking about epoxy with color in it, like metallics or something. So the difference is, in the acid stain, the color is in the concrete. In the epoxy, the color is in the coating. Okay, so if you have really ugly concrete, then you got to do epoxy. Don't do stain, because you're going to see all the imperfections. But if you have really nice concrete, then you have an option to do whichever you want. Protection-wise, they're the same, because what we do is we use a polyurethane for the stained concrete, and if we do epoxy, then we come back and put polyurethane on top. So the top coats are the same. So anyway, that's kind of how that works. Thank you for all the informative videos. I recently attempted the acid stained concrete floors, and they look phenomenal. Awesome, awesome, Cindy. I'm glad you found our content helpful. Water-based or poly sealers outside for concrete sealing. I like that P250 from APF. That stuff is it's solvent based. It's not water based, but it works amazing. When framing, do you set your walls inside of the metal shell, and why? I don't know if you mean like inside or inside. We did a video about that around Christmas time. Go check it out. But I explained how we do that. On the concrete floors, slippery for dogs in... all right, let me slow down. Are the concrete floors slippery for dogs when they are wet? Yeah, they're slippery when they're wet. Yep. I learned so much from your videos. Thank you. Well, thank you. Have you been to, oh, here we go. It's a food question. Have you been in Taquitos West Avenue, San Antonio, Texas? They are delicious. For the next video with Daniel. Well, Daniel hasn't been here now for a long time. So if I do a video, it's probably going to have to be me, myself, and I. But no, I don't think I've been there. Taquitos West Avenue. No, I haven't. I don't eat tacos anymore, man. Keto. So, yeah. Do you full-length size? Oh, man, you got a full-length size. That guy, who is that guy? I don't know who that guy is. Some Dan guy. You have to full-length size, man. I'm amazed a lot of realtors don't know anything about barndos. Somebody asked me earlier about appraisals. If I've dealt with people that the first question they ask me is, what is a barndominium? And these guys are the appraisers, so that's how I know we're in for a bad situation. So yeah, a lot of guys don't know. A lot of appraisers, realtors, a lot of them don't know what a barndominium is, and that's okay. You know, we're kind of doing our thing to kind of get them out there and get them more popular. When I started building barndominiums back in 2013, something like that, nobody knew what a barndominium was, you know. And now, you know, they're becoming more popular, which I like. A lot of people think, believe it or not, a lot of people think we invented barndominiums, and I tell them we did not invent them. We just made them popular. And sometimes people kind of people get worked up on the comment section a lot. Do they lose value after build? Heck no. Not if they're done right. Heck no. They appreciate just like a house. How old are you, and how old were you when you owned a business? I am 39, and I was 19 when I started my business, straight out of high school. So, just went to work, man. What do you recommend for stain sealed concrete floors that are fading from wear? Oh, well, the sealer is not fading. I mean, the stain is not fading. What's fading is the sealer. You need to get a good sealer on there. You know, maybe you just need to reseal. Eric, I want to set up my barndo on beams sunk into concrete and then do a slab inside. Your thoughts? Talk to an engineer, man. It has to do with your soil, what kind of soil you have, how big your barndo is, the spans. There's so much there. Get with an engineer. What do you do? Solar power in the. What do the solars? My goodness. What do the solar setup power in your homes? Wow. Come on, yeah, I gotta do better with your sentences, because I'm having a hard time, and now I sound like I don't know what I'm talking about. What do the solar setups power in the homes? Oh, what do the solar setups power in the homes? Okay, I guess maybe I'm just tired. I've been up since like 5 a.m., as you guys know. Whatever. It depends on how much solar power you have. A lot of times they have it just hooked up to the grid, and you know, so you still use the co-op for your power, but yet it'll turn if you're not using your electricity, it'll literally turn the meter in reverse. So that's one way to do it. Let me see what else we got here. Migo, you look 50. I know, man. It's been a rough life. Our building, yeah, Jason. I don't know whether that was a question or what, but yeah, they do good stuff. Is it possible to have a basement? Yep, you can have a basement. My lender says yes today, in the way. All right, man. All right, holy smokes, this is the longest one yet. I just realized we in at 54 minutes already. Holy smokes, man. It's kind of gets going pretty quick. When you build in rural areas, do you have trouble getting cement for your project? We have had to build where it's really hard to get concrete, but we've done it. You know, put some admixtures in there, some retarders. Tyler Lay, if you guys don't know who Tyler Lay is, he has been my go-to guy whenever I have to do things like that. I'll call him up and say, hey man, I need your help. I need to haul concrete far, far away. What do we do here? So he has really helped me with that. So, you know, put some retarders in there, some admixtures, and you can haul that concrete pretty far away. But I had a guy that I ordered concrete from. I'm telling you, if I had a camera crew following me around, you guys wouldn't believe the stuff that we have to put up with. I called him up and I said, hey, I need some concrete. We're gonna need about 150 yards. And I'm going to need you guys to put some retarders, some mid-range retarder in there. And they said, well, the dispatcher said, well, I need to talk to my boss because he's the one that does all the, you know, the mix designs. I said, fine, get back with me. I kid you not. I almost said the S word. I kid you not. She said, my boss says we mix concrete the way God meant concrete to be mixed. We just do water, rock, sand, and cement. We don't do any of that fancy stuff. My goodness, that's how I knew I was in trouble. And guess what? That was the only vendor in the area, the only supplier. So we had to deal with it, but my goodness, it was hard. But anyway, if metal building manufacturer would put, let me see, together a shell building, would you use them? If a metal building manufacturer would put together a shell building, would you use them? I don't know what you're asking me. You mean would I use them for me, or would I use them for you? I wouldn't use them, but I don't know. I don't want to say no because there's a lot of good builders out there. So I'm gonna say possibly, because if they're really good, yeah, why not? So when vendor declares their incompetence, that's a market opportunity for a competitor. Yes, I know that, but I stay in my lane, man. Do you build suburbs of the city? No, not really. Oh, a kit building. I don't know. I've never messed with kit buildings. I don't like kit buildings, to be honest with you. Have you ever seen Morton Homes, and what do you think about them? I've seen them on YouTube here and there, but I haven't like really looked into them, so I don't know. I have no idea. Have I ever lost a slab? Oh my God, that is a good question. No, we have not, but we have been very, very close. We were doing a slab. Oh man, we were doing a slab one time, and that was probably the closest one that we came to losing it. And a couple of my guys started cramping up, and you know, they just went to go sit down, and holy smokes, man, it got pretty bad. But we saved it. But holy smokes, so that's the reason we have, or I, you know, do my power trowels with the CVT clutches and type of thing, because we need those trowel machines to be able to go really, really fast if we need them to go really, really slab. So yeah, I've never lost a slab, but I've been very, very close, like scary close to losing it. Barndo 214, we almost lost that one. Go watch the video from the shop, when we pour the shop. Go watch that one. We almost lost that one. That one was a bad one. Are Barndominiums bankable like a traditional home? I don't know what you mean by bankable. But anyway, Willie's asking, are you hiring? I'm always hiring good people, man. So go to the website. Here, I'm going to put it on here again. Go to the website. Send us a message. TexasBarndominiums.com. Yeah. Are any power trowel makers talking to you about what you need and planning their products accordingly? I had one. Do you use Mueller shells? No, we don't. I had one vendor that called me up and he wanted to send me trowel machines. He said, I want you to use our trowel machines. I said, okay, let me look at them first. I mean, this guy was offering to give me thousands and thousands of dollars in trowel machines. And I said, let me look at them first. I looked at them and I said, I'll take them, but the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make modifications to them. And I don't think that's going to look good on you. So if I were you, I probably would not give me a trowel machine, because the first thing I'm going to do is change it. Change your design, change it. I said, however, why don't you make these design changes yourself, and you know, you'll have a better trowel machine. And that's kind of where we left it. So I didn't turn them down. I guess I did, because I told them, I'll take your trowel machine, but I'm going to change it. So I don't think they like that at all. But anyway, is it better to run up plumbing on one side? Nah, I don't think it's better. It doesn't matter. Just lay out your house however you want it, okay? Do not let plumbing decide how your house should be laid out. That's, yeah, you have fun explaining that one 50 years down the road. We're like, why is this layout weird? You know, oh, well, my grandpa wanted all the plumbing on one side. They're gonna be like, well, why did it matter? Why it didn't? So no. How do you keep your employees motivated? You seem like a perfectionist, which can be hard for some people to keep up with. It is very hard. How do I keep them motivated? I do not hire unmotivated people. Simple as that. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it at that. It's been an hour. I didn't realize it went that long. So this is the longest one. So thank you guys for joining us, and go watch that latest video and give it a thumbs up. And subscribe if you haven't. Share our channel. Let's get to 100,000, and we'll do a cap for 100,000. So let's have some fun with it. So anyway, we'll see you guys next time. We are Texas Barndominiums.